Hey, welcome to today's daily sprint. We're talking about increasing our purpose, passion, and meaning. And boy, am I excited for you guys. I'm excited to share some of the awesome points of this book here. Man, if you thought the daily sprints were good before, the one or two people of you that tune into these, if you thought they were good before, wait to hear some of the information that Adam Grant has for you. If you recall, Adam Grant also wrote the book Give and Take. It teaches you how to be a successful giver and how to not be a taker. So they found in life that there are successful givers and unsuccessful givers, and what we don't want to be is the taker. So that's the book Give and Take. Definitely check it out. Well, Erica bought me this book, wasn't too pumped about it at first, and then I got maybe a sliver into it, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. So the book's all about rethinking our old thoughts and belief systems. So cognitive flexibility is what we're going to talk about today. And cognitive flexibility is basically being able to let go of our confirmation biases and stop seeking validating data, instead to seek data that's going to get us to the next level. So a good example from my personal life is I used to think that you needed formal education. So my mom has two master's degree, my sister's an attorney, my brother got his college degree. So I always was just brought up with the belief system that formal education was how that you gain credibility and how you get a good job and run a successful life financially and be the best giving person that you can. And that was a belief that I clung to for many years, and it actually led to kind of an imposter syndrome. I never felt like I was educated enough. So I'd go get these certifications, and at one point, no joke, I literally have 18 certifications. Like they were like this. And what broke because I did not have cognitive flexibility. That was my belief. Formal education, that's the only way to do it. And what broke that belief for me is I started to meet people who were joyful people. They had time freedom. They gave, some of them even built like missions, crazy. They were hugely successful giving human beings. And some of them didn't even have like hardly a high school education. Some were college dropouts. And I'm like, where are your certifications? I've got 18. Where are yours? And they're like, I don't need a certification to help another human being. And I was just like, what? It was so I'm like, no, they've got to be the exception, not the rule. But then I started to meet another one. And then I let the ego aside, and I started to just, again, put that ego aside, speak with humility and say, wait a minute, what could I possibly be missing? So what I found is that the very successful business people have good cognitive flexibility. That doesn't mean they're not convicted. That doesn't mean that they don't have a clear path. It just means that if they're seeing somebody else with success, they're open to, hey, how are you seeing that success? And they're open to taking a look and maybe even evaluating some of their own old beliefs. So they're open to cognitive flexibility. It's opening to learning new views. It's open to revisiting your old views. And it could be, after you do those first two things, open to following new steps. Like for me, I followed new steps and began to get educated in other ways, began to do personal development, began to open up my brain to new thoughts. So it's not like I gave up on formal education. I just educated myself in my brain in a different way that was more appropriate and seems to be more successful than my own belief system. So, hey, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe you could let me know in the comments a time where you didn't have cognitive flexibility like me, and you held to a belief maybe for a little bit too long, and how you broke that. Thanks for tuning in.